बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। डियर स्टूडेंट्स, अस्सलाम वालेकुम। उम्मीद है आप सब लोग खैरियत से होंगे। अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह मैं भी अल्लाह के फजल से बिल्कुल ठीक हूँ। टुडे वी आर गोइंग टू स्टार्ट आवर लेक्चर नंबर 23 and this particular lecture will have been providing us with an insight into the theories of public policy, and we again would have been discussing in detail the public policy making process. Dear students, as far as different theories of public policies are concerned, from the point of view of the outline of these theories, we would have been inshallah discussing uses of different models here, then types of models, then group works regarding the theories of public policy, and it will have been giving us the most important understanding about the prevailing and the existing theories of public policy. Dear students, in our previous meetings, I have quoted you the definition of Mr. Thomas Dye about the concept of public policy many a times before, and as per that definition, public policy is actually be the study of government decisions, government actions, or intentions behind those government actions. Government actions regarding what they want to do, and even government actions regarding about which government is quite clear that this is what they don't want to do. Now the first one aspect is the uses of models as per Dye, and it will let us know that it simplifies and clarifies our thinking about politics and public policy. That uses of models not only would have been simplifying and clarifying about the politics and the public policy to you, then it will identify important aspects of policy members, all those who would be involved in one or any other stage, particular step in the formulation of the policy, they would also be involved into it. Then, dear students, it will also help us to communicate with each other by focusing on essential features of political life. Whatever has been given in the political scenario in your country, communication, open communication on these issues will also be the part of this uses of models as per Dye. And let me remind you, when previously through the stage of studying business policy, I also significantly told you the importance of this communication. At that time I told you that management is all about communication. Dear students, communication, आपस में बातचीत, एक दूसरे के नुक्ते नज़र को समझना, किसी भी कम्युनिटी के लिए, किसी भी ग्रुप के लिए, इवन स्मॉलर स्केल पे आपकी फैमिली के लिए एक इंतहाई इम्पोर्टेंट इंग्रेडिएंट है. So, if you would have been channels of communication open to yourself and to all those who are associated with you in this or that aspect, would always be something meaningful and beneficial for you. Then, dear students, it will direct our efforts to understand public policy better by suggesting what is important and what is otherwise not important or less important. Then it will also suggest us explanations for public policy and to predict its consequences. the most important thing, on the basis of your clear-cut understanding about the different aspects of public policy, you will be taking up an excellent proposition to predict the future consequences of that something. So dear students, this particular model will let us know about who participates in policy making, कि कौन-कौन लोग किस किस लेवल पे गवर्नमेंट और पॉलिटिकल एक्टर के तौर पे या स्टेक होल्डर्स की रिप्रेजेंटेशन के तौर पे इस पॉलिसी मेकिंग में इन्वॉल्व होंगे. Then how are going to be the policy decisions made? Policy decisions actually किस तरह formulate किए जाते हैं? Then question number 3, what are the underlying assumptions of the theory or the model of public policy? This is what which we would have been discussing in complete detail inshallah in this lecture. Then question number 4, if the author is right, what are the consequences for general public of policy decisions made in accordance with the particular theory or model? So dear students, now as far as the types of models are concerned, there are 4 questions you should be able to answer about each of the theories or models you will be exposed to in current times right now in our upcoming slides. आपको अगर इन पे अच्छी grip, अच्छी अंडरस्टैंडिंग डेवलप करना है तो आपको इन थ्योरीज या मॉडल्स के हवाले से 4 क्वेश्चंस करने हैं अपने आप को, जिनका आप अच्छी तरह आंसर जस्टिफिकेशन के साथ दे सकें. So dear students, number 1 is institutionalism. Public policy as institutional output. This is what we are going to discuss in this slide. In this institutionalism, the first something which is very important is the word of who, which would be letting you know that who, whether executives or legislative and judicial branches, who would have been participating in this from these different areas. Then how policy is authoritatively determined, implemented and enforced by these institutions. This is again very important aspect which you will have to bring into your very serious consideration. And by that I actually mean the legitimacy, universality and coercion. Then implications or assumptions. Individuals have little impact on structure or design effects of outcomes. So dear students, second is the process model. Public policy as political activity. Here the focus is on this particular ideology. Who would be the political activity and the important aspect in this aspect? Voters from the political activity point of view. Interest groups would have been playing their role in this particular question of who. Then legislator who would have been formulating legislations for the voters and for the elected members of the parliament. And then presidents and bureaucrats and judges would be justifying this question of who. And then how would you have been doing this? ID problems. They would have been setting agenda. They would have been formulating policy proposals. पॉलिसी प्रोपोजल्स फॉर्मुलेट करना आपके इस पॉलिसी मेकिंग के हवाले से एक इनिशियल स्टेप होता है डियर स्टूडेंट्स. देन लेजिटिमेट पॉलिसीज वो हैं जिनको एक रूल का या एक राइट का स्टेटस हासिल होता है, which has to be followed and observed by the concerned individual is necessary. Then how to implement those policies, and then finally how would you have been going for the evaluation of those policies. Now dear students, as far as the implications or assumptions are concerned regarding this, who participates has a critical or determinant impact on the process, कि जो भी इस process में involve हैं उनका एक critical role develop हो जाता है. Dear students, now the third theory, which is available with the title of group theory and public policy as a group equilibrium, would have been letting us know about these few aspects. As far as the first aspect of who is concerned, here among those which would have been involved into it are given from the interest groups and their allies in government. कि कौन कौन रिप्रेजेंटेटिव या इंटरेस्ट ग्रुप्स हैं और उनकी गवर्नमेंट में क्या क्या अलाइनमेंट है, उनकी क्या क्या लॉबिंग है. डियर स्टूडेंट्स, after that the next component of how would have been letting you know about the struggle among interest groups with legislatures, executive as referee to manage group conflicts and establish rules of the game. This is somehow again going to be very important concern as per as this particular how in group theory is concerned. And as far as the implications or assumptions are concerned regarding this, groups will always join to press for particular issues. उनका जब भी एक कॉमन इंटरेस्ट होता है किसी पर्टिकुलर इशू पे, तो दे जॉइन हैंड्स एट दैट टाइम. All interests will have an opportunity for representation in that particular scenario, which would be an advantage in this particular situation. Then, dear students, we have come up with the elite theory and public policy in connection with this elite preference would have been justifying the same who, how and its implications in this particular slide. As far as the first aspect of who in relation to elite theory of public policy is concerned, it let you know the elites that have power and the ability to allocate values. Those financial elites, those social elites, those religious elites which would be having their say, which would be having their importance into the society, they would be playing their role here. And how? Implementation of preferences and values of the governing elite. Public officials merely carry out policies decided on by the elites. So this is again a very strange phenomena as far as has been described here in this how aspect of elite theory from the public policy point of view. Now, as far as the implications or assumptions are concerned, public is apathetic, elites agree upon norms, and political action is merely symbolic here, protects the status quo. So this is how it will be going further. Now, dear students, our fifth theory of public policy is available with the title of rationalism. And public policy as maximum social gain from rationalism point of view would have been letting you be aware of the member who would be representing their who as the first aspect here would have been about the decision makers, again all social, political, economic values sacrificed or achieved by a policy choice actually, irrespective of dollar amount as per Bentham and Mills. And now if we talk about the second aspect of how, select policy alternatives that allows gains to society to exceed benefits by the greatest amount. This would be actually a sort of total win-win situation in which you will be making benefits for your society certain and confirmed. Now, as far as the implication or assumptions regarding this rationalism theory is concerned, here we have to assume that the value preferences to the society as a whole can be known and weighted, कि वो जानी भी जाती हैं और उन्हें सोसाइटी के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से अच्छा वेट या इम्पोर्टेंस भी उनके साथ असाइन की जाती है. Dear students, then incrementalism, public policy as variations on the past. It would be focusing on this aspect here. As far as the first aspect of who is concerned, it is about policy makers, about legislatures, others with a stake in ongoing programs or ongoing problems actually. Now, as far as the second aspect of this public policy from the incrementalism is concerned, dear students, it would be given in the form of the continuation of past government activities with only incremental modification. कि आप previous past government प्रैक्टिसेस को कंटिन्यू कर रहे होंगे लेकिन बिल्कुल थोड़ी सी नॉमिनल इंक्रीमेंटल मॉडिफिकेशन और एडवांसमेंट्स को एक्सरसाइज करते हुए. देन द implication or the assumptions of this incrementalism are concerned, here it let us know that it accepts the legitimacy of the established programs, okay, very important, fear of unintended consequences, then its sunk cost in other programs may minimize the opportunities for radical change. कि ये जो सारा कुछ है ये आपकी मिनिमाइज कर देता है अपॉर्चुनिटी फॉर द रेडिकल चेंज विच इज समहाउ एन इम्पॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट ऑफ दिस इंक्रीमेंटलिज्म थ्योरी ऑफ पब्लिक पॉलिसी. Dear students, then we are available with another theory which is given in the name of game theory. Public policy as rational choice in competitive situation, कि जब भी एक मुसाबकत का माहौल होगा, जब भी एक competitive environment होगा. Dear students, मैंने आपको शायद अपनी बिजनेस पॉलिसी के सेमिनार्स के एरिया में ये बताया था कि competition is always be a healthy sign. Never get afraid of competitive environment. ये जो competition होता है ये इंतहाई अहम है. इवन ये आपकी हिडन सलाहियतों को भी आपके सामने क्लियर कट करके लेके आता है. आपको अपनी उन सलाहियतों का भी कॉम्पिटिटिवनेस की वजह से अंदाजा हो जाता है जो अदरवाइज उस कंपटीशन में सरवाइव और सस्टेन करने के लिए आपको शायद एक्सरसाइज करने की जरूरत ही नहीं होती. Now, as far as the first aspect of who of this game theory is concerned, it will be talking about the players in the form of decision makers whose choices to make and the outcomes depends upon the choice made by each of them. It helps you assume rationality in making your choices. Then as far as the aspect of how is concerned of this game theory, it talks about that each player has goals and resources, a strategy developed given possible moves of opponent and payoff values that constitutes the outcomes of the whole game actually. Now dear students, as far as the implications or the assumptions of this game theory is concerned, the game theory of public policy, it makes you be aware of the repeated plays should lead to better policy outcomes. कि whenever you would have been repeating the same task again and again, it will not only help your that skill being polished well, it will also become more sharpened and more efficient to help you achieve its expected outcome in an excellent manner. So dear students, if we go for the 8th, public choice, here public policy as collective decision making by self-interested individuals. This is which will remain the focus of this public choice के जिसमें collective decision making होती है उन लोगों की जो rational या self-interest के individuals होते हैं. इसमें जो फर्स्ट एस्पेक्ट है हु का ये हमें बताता है दैट रैशनल और सेल्फ इंटरेस्टेड इंडिविजुअल्स विल इन बोथ पॉलिटिक्स एंड इकोनॉमीज कोऑपरेट टू अचीव देयर गोल्स. ये बहुत अहम कंपोनेंट है डियर स्टूडेंट्स. यहाँ पे जो पॉलिटिकल सिनेरियो में एक्टिव और इन्फ्लुएंशियल पोजीशंस पे लोग हैं वो ज्वाइन हैंड्स करते हैं सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट रैशनल बेसिस पे उन लोगों के साथ जो इकोनॉमिक्स के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से इन्फ्लुएंशियल है और उनका उस चीज में सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट होता है एंड दे बोथ रिप्रेजेंट टू कंबाइन टुगेदर टू वर्क टुगेदर in this aspect of who from the public choice theory of public policy. Now then, as far as its aspect of how is concerned, dear students, individuals come together in politics for their own mutual benefits. कि लोग पॉलिटिक्स में इकट्ठे होकर एक ग्रुप फॉर्मुलेट करते हैं या एक किसी ऑलरेडी इस्टेब्लिश्ड पॉलिटिकल ग्रुप को ज्वाइन करते हैं क्योंकि उसमें उनका वेस्टेड इंटरेस्ट सेफ गार्ड होने का चांस होता है. Government must respond to market failures too in this particular situation. Now, as far as the implication or the assumptions of this public choice is concerned, here individuals used to have sufficient information to know what is in their best interest. अगर ये सिनेरियो आप अपने ऊपर डियर स्टूडेंट्स अप्लाई करना चाहें कि आपको उस चीज के बारे में कंप्लीट इंफॉर्मेशन है कि क्या चीज आपके बेस्ट इंटरेस्ट में है तो आई विल रिकमेंड यू दैट ट्राई टू मेंटेन दिस पोर्टफोलियो टू बी अवेयर ऑफ योर दोज एस्पेक्ट्स विच आर मोस्ट बेनिफिशियल फॉर यू एंड यू आर हैविंग कंप्लीट इंफॉर्मेशन अबाउट देम. आप जिस भी इस पोजीशन पे जिस भी वक्त में होते हैं आप हमेशा सोशल मॉरल लीगल प्रोफेशनल एक एडवांटेज आपको होता है चाहे आप किसी भी कॉम्पिटिटिव एनवायरनमेंट या इंडस्ट्री में ऑपरेट कर रहे हो. नाउ नंबर 9 इज द सिस्टम थ्योरी. Public policy as system output will remain the focus of this system theory, and as far as the first aspect of who of this system theory is concerned, the people who would be representing who here are the individuals or groups or even nations, depending upon the scope of the problem. कि even nations भी उस पे इकट्ठी हो जाती हैं अगर प्रॉब्लम का स्कोप बहुत ब्रॉडर हो. Now the how aspect is environment may stimulate inputs into political system producing output and feedback. So this is again very important. And now as far as the implications or the assumptions of this system theory is concerned, dear students, this system implies an identifiable set of institutions and activities in society that functions to transform demands into authoritative decisions requiring the support of the whole society. Actually, dear students, it implies that the elements of the system are interrelated, that the system can respond to forces in its environment and that it will do so to preserve itself finally. Dear students, then we are having this kingdom garbage can model as far as the public policy models or theories are concerned. In this kingdom garbage can model, the first aspect of who will represent all participants inside and outside government agencies. Then how it will have been working actually? Choice opportunity is a garbage can into which various kinds of problems and solutions are dumped together by participants as they are generated. Policy outcomes are a function of the mix of that garbage, problems, solutions, participations, and participants' resources in the can and how the can is processed. This is how the how aspect of this particular kingdom garbage can model will have been moving ahead. Now, as far as the assumptions or implications of this theory or model is concerned, it will be letting us know that each of the actors and processes can operate either as an impulse or as a constraint actually. Streams operate largely independent of one another in this particular kingdom garbage can model of public policy theory. Now, as far as the next aspect of these particular theories are concerned, we have to understand the institutionalism, a process phenomena, then we have this group theory, then we have this elite theory of public policy. Rationalism was an other theory or model of public policy which we have discussed few minutes ago. Then, dear students, incrementalism was also again an other model or the theory of public policy in which government stays loyal to whatever they were doing before. They keep on sustaining with the same policy but with some little modifications and minor increments into that. Then we have talked about the game theory of public policy as a model or a theory of public policy. Then we talked about the public choice theory, dear students. Systems theory is also one of the very important theory regarding public policy aspect. And then this kingdom garbage can model we have just discussed few minutes ago. Now, dear students, as far as the public policy making process based on these theories is concerned, we would have been trying to collect an overview of all of these, and it will be providing us with the two main conclusions: that no one is clearly in charge of implementation as far as public policy from government is concerned. When you reach at the implementation stage, like private sector, in which you would be having clear-cut responsibles for the implementation of some of the strategy, but here story will be going in a different direction. There would now one as the individual wholly solely responsible somebody in the implementation stage here. Domestic programs virtually never achieve all that is expected of them. Unfortunately, all domestic programs which a government has to run remain unsuccessful in achieving all of their objectives. Now, 8 generalizations regarding this are given there. Number 1 generalization is this: no one individual or group is in charge. Actually, this has been taken from the previous conclusion. Then domestic programs never achieve all that is expected of them, the extension of what we have discussed previously. And the first two are true because of the political structure and conflicting values of the participants. So, dear students, if we continue our study on these 8 generalizations regarding public policy making process, the other one is given here, that bureaucrats are the most influential actors. Although they would have been the government servant, but bureaucrats are the most critical and influential actor, but do not control the implementation stage. As far as implementation is concerned, it is still beyond their absolute control. And other generalization has been given here, dear students, that patterns of implementation vary from one another depending on the different social purposes of the policies. कि ये जो उनका स्कोप ऑफ इम्प्लीमेंटेशन है ये पॉलिसी टू पॉलिसी वेरे करता है, और ये पॉलिसी टू पॉलिसी किन बेसिस पे वेरे करता है कि जिन डिफरेंट सोशल पर्पसेस के लिए वो पॉलिसी फॉर्मुलेट करके इम्प्लीमेंट की गई होती है वो आपस में डिफरेंशिएटिंग नेचर की होती हैं, एक दूसरे से उनका पर्सपेक्टिव डिफरेंट होता है. एंड अदर जनरलाइजेशन विच हैज बीन गिवन हियर, डियर स्टूडेंट्स, इज दिस दैट डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन इन्फ्लुएंसेस implementation. In spite of centralization, if you would have been opting the approach of decentralization, it would have been positively influencing the overall implementation. And the meaning of effective implementation again varies across situations. अब दोबारा हम यही बात करेंगे कि डिफरेंट सिनेरियोज में, डिफरेंट पर्सपेक्टिव में हम एक सक्सेसफुल ये एफिशिएंट इम्प्लीमेंटेशन के कॉन्सेप्ट को भी डिफरेंट पैरामीटर्स की बेसिस पे रख के स्टडी करती है. देन इफेक्टिवनेस डज नॉट नेसेसरली ट्रांसलेट इनटू द डिजायर्ड इम्पैक्ट्स, कि इवन अगर आपकी इम्प्लीमेंटेशन भी है तो आप इसको डायरेक्टली रिलेट डिजायर्ड इम्पैक्ट से करना आपके लिए उस वक्त समहाउ एक स्ट्रेंज फिनोमिना है. Dear students, implementation in the policy process, as far as a concept or as far as in the form of its formal definition is concerned, it is the set of activities that follow statement of intent. कि जो आपने अपनी स्टेटमेंट दे दी थी, जो आपने अपना डिसीजन दे दिया था, उस डिसीजन को फॉलो करने वाली जितनी भी एक्टिविटीज हैं वो पब्लिक पॉलिसी की इम्प्लीमेंटेशन के प्रोसेस का कंपोनेंट है. एंड द स्टेटमेंट ऑफ इंटेंट रिगार्डिंग लॉज, कोर्ट डिसीजंस, executive orders about program goals and desired results by the government officials. So इन तमाम स्टेटमेंट ऑफ इंटेंट के फॉलो अप में आप जो एक्शंस ले रही हैं वो आपकी इम्प्लीमेंटेशन ऑफ पब्लिक पॉलिसी से रिलेटेड है. Dear students, in our next lines of this particular slide, implementation encompasses actions and non-actions even by a variety of actors, especially bureaucrats, designed to put programs into effect ostensibly in such a way as to achieve their desired goals and targets. So dear students, implementation in the policy process, as far as the actions are concerned, it will be letting us know that in which particular area you have to formulate your actions to be implemented. Number one, for the acquiring of resources, you have to take actions. Then interpret statutes, laws, decisions and plan activities, कि इन तमाम areas में you have to take some actions. Then you have to take serious action for the overall organization, to how to organize the scenario, and then actions regarding the extended benefits or restrictions would be appreciable here. Dear students, the nature of implementation of public policy used to provide us with certain generalization, and all these generalization would be discussed among all of us right now here in this particular slide. The number one generalization is regarding that there are a very large number of external factors that can influence implementation. कि इम्प्लीमेंटेशन की जो स्टेज है, जो इम्प्लीमेंटेशन का पहलू है पब्लिक पॉलिसी का, ये काफ़ी सारे एक्सटर्नल फैक्टर्स से इन्फ्लुएंस होता है. सेकंड जनरलाइजेशन, for implementation to proceed without any major hitches, any major hurdles and any major stoppages, all or virtually all of these external factors must be supportive or at least neutral. कि अगर आप एक स्मूथ इम्प्लीमेंटेशन चाह रहे हैं तो ये तमाम जो फैक्टर्स हैं, अगर ये सपोर्टिव नहीं है आपके लिए तो एटलीस्ट इनका न्यूट्रल होना बहुत ज़रूरी है. एनी वन ऑफ यू that are non-sportive can derail the entire implementation process in a variety of ways. अगर वो न्यूट्रल नहीं है या आपके लिए स्पोर्टिव नहीं है इम्प्लीमेंटेशन में, तो ये आपके पूरे प्रोसेस को डीरेल कर सकती है. Dear students, another generalization which has been given here is regarding this aspect, that there are also a large number of factors internal to implementation process that inevitably provide obstacles to smooth implementation. हमने इससे प्रीवियस जनरलाइजेशन में ये डिस्कस किया कि सिर्फ एक्सटर्नल फैक्टर्स हर्डल क्रिएट करते हैं, बट इन दिस लास्ट स्टेटमेंट ऑफ द जनरलाइजेशन गिवन इन दिस स्लाइड वी हैव आल्सो कम टू नो दिस important aspect that even from your internal scenario, from your internal environment, you might have been facing certain areas which would be creating hurdles into the successful implementation of your strategy. Dear students, there are now most important features about the nature of the implementation of public policy, and the most important feature includes this, that implementation process involve many important actors holding diffuse and competing goals and expectations who work within the context of an increasingly large and complex mix of government programs that require participation from numerous layers and units of government, and who are affected by power factors beyond their controls. So this is somehow very important aspect of that. Now dear students, as far as the continuity of our discussion on the nature of the implementation of public policy is concerned, many actors, which are those actors, how would they participate and contribute into this implementation, we would have been studying it on the basis of their number and identity. The basic point is that executives, legislatures, bureaucrats, a variety of private or non-governmental groups and even individuals, and courts at all of the three major territorial level in the United States, meaning to say three levels of federal, state and local level, can and do get involved into the implementation of domestic policies. So whether it is for the United States government regarding the environment of the United States of America, or whether it is going to be the environment of the government of Pakistan, usually all these three levels could become very effective and influential into the implementation stage. Actors into the implementation process, how would they play their role? This is what we will have been discussing in our next slide. Dear students, there are three levels: federal, state or local level. From the stature or the government of United States of America point of view, they would have to talk about their level in the form of executive officials and organizations, then legislative officials and organization, then their bureaucratic officials and their organization, and then NGO, non-governmental individual and organization, and then judicial officials and organization, they all would have been playing their very, very important role, which I have described for you all in this particular slide. This particular slide is all very simple to understand, dear students, as far as the scope of the policy and their level of the implementation is concerned. I suggest you to give it a very, very detailed reading, read in between the lines, and then this particular model or this particular slide will again also become very much meaningful for you. Now, dear students, many actors which would have been playing their role, and those actors which we have seen in our previous slide, they would have been even admitting and acknowledging the role of private actors too. Among those private actors, the first most important actors would be the interest groups. And interest groups are going to make attempts to influence implementation. They could influence, does not stop with formulation and legitimation even. Not only can interest help create policies, but policies can create interest too. It is vice versa in this particular aspect. Then bureaucracies will sometimes take the initiative in creating groups itself around the policies that may have yet to be implemented, both allies and opposing groups. So it is somehow the interest groups in the form of the private actors used to play their role in the implementation stage. The blurring of public and private sectors, advisory groups contribute to this phenomena too. Then, dear students, as far as the nature of implementation is concerned, there are many other actors, and even the role of courts will become very important here. Role of court would be regarding decisions that limit, channel, provide mandate for implementation or things like that. And program administrators sometimes also become very crucial in this aspect. Then second is the lack of hierarchy, promotes bargaining, competition and compromise in this particular aspect. And even in hierarchies, this is very true as far as their bargaining and competitive and compromise aspect in the implementation of public policy is concerned. Dear students, among those many actors who used to play their role in the nature of the implementation of public policy, they also come up and end up with different conflicts and compromises. Policy formulation and legitimation are typically characterized by some conflict over both goals and means to attain them, कि आपने कौन से गोल सेट करने हैं और उन गोल्स को अटेनमेंट के लिए आपने कौन सा रोड मैप टेकअप करना है, इस बात पे sometimes conflict arises. Then conflict reduced or resolved through series of compromises that allow legislation to pass. अब ये conflicting parties through series of meetings अपने अपने conflicts पे compromise करते हैं ताकि public policy को legitimate किया जा सके, legislation का हिस्सा बनाया जा सके. Dear students, again conflict does not end with the passage of the legislation. It carries over into implementation phase, which is going to be very damaging. Losers attempt to change the outcomes. जो उस कॉन्फ्लिक्ट में लूज कर रहे होते हैं वो चाहते हैं कि इसकी इम्प्लीमेंटेशन सही ना हो सके. Winners try to attempt to maintain their earned advantage. Then multiple opportunities for influences and excess would be there, and no decision would be final at that particular point in time. So the nature of implementation Goals and expectations. Goals embedded in programs are diffused, numerous, and usually fuzzy. No single clear goal would be there. It would be a confused whole program which would never be letting you and providing you with the direction. Then competition among different goals, and then unexpected cost, unintended consequences will you have to face at that particular point in time. Now, as far as growth of government and complexity of program is concerned, regarding the nature of implementation, dear students, it will increase in budget layouts, it will increase in government expenditures as a percentage of total GDP, and then slow increase in federal employment, rapid increase in state and local employment, and then greater use of non-profit and private sector, and then raise of grants in 8 to 1970 would be the other related aspects of this growth of government and complexity of programs. Then after that, external uncontrollable factors would include economic changes, social changes, and this policy implementation would be now letting you be clearly aware of the public policies are not self-executing. You have to develop a parameter, a foundation over which you can execute them in an efficient manner. Dear students, since people who formulate and adopt are usually not the same as those who implement, फॉर्मुलेशन की स्टेज में कुछ और लोग इन्वॉल्व हैं और जिन्होंने इम्प्लीमेंट करना है वो एक डिफरेंट ग्रुप ऑफ इंडिविजुअल होता है, मच रूम फॉर स्लिपेज एंड डिस्टॉर्शन. इसकी वजह से किसी भी कॉन्फ्लिक्ट का, किसी भी डिस्टॉर्शन का एक काफी वैक्यूम क्रिएट हो जाता है. देन पॉलिसी इम्प्लीमेंटेशन इज द स्टेज ऑफ पॉलिसी मेकिंग बिटवीन द एस्टैब्लिशमेंट ऑफ अ पॉलिसी and the consequences of the policy for the people it affects actually. So dear students, now as far as the public policy implementation is concerned, we are having public policies are not self-executing point of view of the justification given here in this particular slide, कि आपकी कोई भी public policy self execution को demand या create नहीं कर रही होती. Implementation activities must address the issue and enforcing directives. Then it must have been addressing the issue of disbursement of funds, then the availability and approval and making of loans, then awarding grants would be playing a vital role here, then signing contracts would be another important aspect from this point of view, then collection of the data would be entering into the picture as an important aspect, then disseminating information, then analyzing problems, then assigning and hiring personnel and individual in your organization, then creating different organizational units, then proposing alternative course of actions, then planning for the future, then negotiating with private citizens, businesses, interest groups, legislative committees, bureaucratic units, and even with other countries will enter into the picture. Dear students, from policy implementation point of view, what are the conditions that produce effective or otherwise ineffective implementation? This is which we would have been discussing in this particular slide. Number one and the most important one is communication. On many a times before, I told you about the importance of communication. Then resources, then dispositions are very important for successful or even unsuccessful implementation. And finally, the bureaucratic structure would also be playing very important role into making one of your policy implementation a success or otherwise a failure. Dear students, out of it, the communication actually very important from this point of view, that it is the first requirement for effective policy implementation, and is that those are to implement a decision must know what they are supposed to do. Policy decisions and implementation orders must be transmitted to the appropriate personnel before they can be followed actually. And naturally, these need to be accurate, and they must be accurately perceived initially. They must be clear, and they must be consistent with whatever has been happening before. So dear students, as far as this communication is concerned, it will be providing you with the importance of transmission. Implementers must be aware that the decision was made initially, then the different obstacles regarding disagreements, regarding multiple layers of bureaucracy which would have been creating hurdles for you, and then selective and bounded rationality of perception would again be causing different issues for you at that point in time. Communication would be clear again always. It must be about the vague laws. Example, maximum feasible participation. Vagueness allows leeway, inhibits change, but can also expand it too. Finding the true intentions, then reducing direction can provide some remedy, dear students, like ambiguous court decisions, like giving death penalty to someone, then Brown versus Board of Educations. But flexibility has some values and always have some values. Reasons for lack of clarity usually remains on the basis of complexity of policy making, competing goals and the need for consensus, then unfamiliarity of new programs, then avoiding accountability, and then finally the nature of court decisions, dear students. The consistency. Example here given that Economic Development Administration help jobless by attracting or expanding industry, could not subsidize competitors to existing businesses, then inconsistency can also lead to discretion, and the causes for that, it will increase as level and offices increases actually. Then many of the conditions affecting clarity also would be affecting at the end your consistency, dear students. And then desire to appear consistent while making a change can lead to inconsistent communication, which become damaging and harmful for the organization. Dear students, now as far as the resources are concerned, adequate resources are essential. मैंने आपको एक दफ़ा पहले भी बताया था कि वसाइल की कमी मसाइल में इजाफा कर देती है, इसलिए वसाइल का एडिक्वेट होना, काफ़ी होना इंतहाई ज़रूरी है। एंड आपकी ये जो वसाइल हैं, जो सोर्सेज हैं, वो स्टाफ से रिलेटेड है, वो फाइनेंशियल रिसोर्सेज, मटेरियल रिसोर्सेज से रिलेटेड हैं। फॉर एग्जांपल स्टाफ, most essential one. Now as far as the size is concerned, most programs are understaffed. 1968 HEW, an example, supervised school degradation with 48 enforcement offices in 23,000 school districts. ये इतने बड़े सेट के लिए, इतने बड़े मजमूओं के लिए ये स्टाफ का साइज बहुत कम है. To avoid, feds have transferred implementation to state and local governments, which are also understaffed actually. Now Michigan is another example I have quoted here. Staff often to consider funding request of 462 school district. 462 फंडिंग रिक्वेस्ट को सिर्फ 10 लोगों ने के स्टाफ ने देखना था. Examples regarding environmental protection are also quoted here. 62,000 primary sources of water pollution plus severe irrigation, agriculture, 150 million polluting motor vehicles, 2,000 toxic dump sites, 2,000 to 40,000 sources of industrial air pollution, and 50,000 pesticides. State Environmental Protection Agency have only 15 to 200 inspectors to look at all these aspects. So understaff would be creating a big problem for you and can examine 3 to 30 sources per day. Why? Fear of totalitarianism, monster, allocate personnel for direct services, scarcity of fund would be another reason, combined with zeal to create new programs actually. Now the resources from skill point of view, lack of skills critical, poorly trained staff can create definite hazards. 7 of 10 nuclear power plant operator applicants in 1978 in Michigan failed licensing exam and were hired anyway. Implementation by state agencies is also a big problem. Few management people with lesser skills, new programs and difficulty in hiring. Resources regarding information. Information is all about knowing what to do, especially new or technical aspects like air pollution. Consequences are given here. Responsibility is not met even on time. Inefficiency, mistakes, inappropriation is there. Monitor compliance, information on compliance, but lack of staff critical, reliance on information from regulated industry, then limited authority, then the reliance on private sector as far as private citizens are concerned. Then resources regarding authority to give aid but less to constraint. इसकी अपनी limitations हैं dear students. Exercising authority, many agencies simply do not have the authority, or it exists only on paper. They can't actually exercise it. Withdrawal of funds, potential weapon, rarely used. Why? Embarrassing, antagonizes implementations, alienates members of Congress, intervention by powerful state and local authorities, may hurt those it is designed to help for, may injure innocent persons, and loss of job would also be given there. Sanctions can be useful in this position, gives agency excuse to comply. And the result of all that, service orientation, higher level official ask for assistance rather than issue orders, rarely challenge lower level decisions in this scenario. Now dear students, as far as from resources point of view, facilities, particularly physical facilities are concerned, it would have been conveying you the aspect of building, equipment and supplies. Shortage of sophisticated equipment would be a big issue for the implementation of public policy. Logistic systems on one military base, purchase from Radio Shack, but many people oppose the building of facilities in their area because they would have been actually polluting and disturbing the whole peace of that particular community and society. Then as far as disposition from attitudes point of view is concerned, well disposed to policy more likely to be carried out according to the intentions. If not, implementation more become complicated. Since implementation have discretion, their attitudes can be obstacles in that particular scenario from the implementation of policy point of view. Dear students, now if we continue our discussion on the disposition of attitude, it will provide us with few of its after effects. That many policies fall in zone of indifference will be implemented, others excite opposition, will be more difficult as far as implementation is concerned. Now sources of parochialism, inbreeding, careerism is one agency, then narrow range of responsibility would be another aspect, then reward distribution, sports, status quo, dear students, and then committee and interest group pressure would be another aspect of this something. Effects continued. Dispositions hindering implementation, opposition can prevent consideration of ideas, can defeat immediate goals, but can be beneficial if used to ignore orders issues in hurry. Then competing policy interest is given there. From selective perception point of view, differences in organizational overall outlook is given here among the organizations, within the organizations, between different sections of the organization, and outlooks that affect implementation actually. Dominant opinion as to function, turf building would be another aspect, then program raids would be another aspect, then protection of autonomy would be here important, and then private disposition will become under consideration here from the implementation of policy point of view. This disposition limit implementation. Why not hire new personnel? If all this is going to be this much serious, organization, governments, political actors could think about it. But the aspect of now time, then politics, then the pressure of interest groups, then the aspect of internal opposition, and then the lack of knowledge of skilled personnel, technically less equipped individual would be available otherwise, and then sub-cabinet discretion, and then civil services rules even, and bureaucratic complexity would stop you from hiring new personnel for the implementation of the policy successfully and efficiently. So dear students, from disposition point of view, from the attitude point of view, the incentives are given here. Rewards and punishment can work at this point in time, but generally only on individual projects. Rewards includes merit pay, which is used rarely, then promotion, usually seniority, in the form of seniority, and then peer group pressure can mitigate rewards too. Goal displacement and trying to beat the system would be another outcome of it. The bureaucratic structure, standard operating procedures are given here, routines to handle everyday solutions, which would be having different reasons available to us. One reason of it would be saving time, uniformity of application, lack of resources requires simplification, and tunnel vision would be another reason. And the problems associated to that are like inhibit change, prevent acceptance of responsibility for new programs, and then delays, and then waste of resources, and then undesired actions, and then new policies are more likely to be hindered, but standardized operating procedures can still help the change, dear students. Fragmentation from bureaucratic structure point of view includes Congress has created multiple programs and agencies to improve oversight, maximize intervention, and divide turf. But agencies' perspective of jurisdiction is there. Interest group favor status quo is still there, which will be giving you the consequences of diffusion of responsibility and the lack of coordination, dear students. Problems and prospects now. Poorly communicated directives in the wrong structure can always aggravate pre-existing dispositions agents against the policy, leading to wasted resources and ineffective implementation. Policies apt to face difficulties in implementation because new policies are there, decentralized implementation is an issue, controversial aspect is there, policies, particularly new policies, are complex in nature, crisis is there, judicial decision hinders you from the implementation, and combination of the above factors. Dear students, thank you all for paying your attention to this particular topic regarding the implementation of policies after its formulation. So आज हमने इस लेक्चर में पब्लिक पॉलिसी थ्योरी और पब्लिक पॉलिसी मॉडल्स पढ़े। हमने इसमें पब्लिक पॉलिसी की थ्योरीज या मॉडल्स के हवाले से डियर स्टूडेंट्स 10 थ्योरीज एंड मॉडल्स को डिस्कस किया। उनके 3 हमने मेन एस्पेक्ट्स पढ़े, हु, हाउ एंड उनसे रिलेटेड जो इम्प्लीकेशन या अजम्पशंस थी, हमने 10 की 10 पब्लिक पॉलिसी थ्योरीज को इन 3 बेसिस पे डिटेल से एनालाइज किया, उनके पॉजिटिव और नेगेटिव एस्पेक्ट्स के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से। एंड द लेटरल पार्ट ऑफ आवर टुडेज लेक्चर वाज अबाउट द इम्प्लीमेंटेशन of those public policies, difficulties which implementation phase actually faces, and how many of the implementation policies face failure, and even we have discussed different measures to improve the overall implementation scenario of these policies. Dear students, उम्मीद है कि आज के लेक्चर में जो पब्लिक पॉलिसी के हवाले से थ्योरीज ये हमने मॉडल्स पढ़े और उनकी इम्प्लीमेंटेशन के हवाले से जो एस्पेक्ट पढ़े, ये आप सबके लिए समझने में बहुत आसान रहे होंगे। इनसे आपकी नॉलेज बेस में कुछ इजाफा हुआ होगा। हमारी नेक्स्ट मीटिंग से पहले आप इसको एक डिटेल रीडिंग दे के आइएगा। तब तक अपना और अपने आसपास के लोगों का बहुत सारा ख्याल रखें। मुझे भी जैसा कि मैं हमेशा कहता हूँ अपनी खसूसी दुआ में ज़रूर याद रखिएगा। आपके असातिज़ा का आप पे बहुत बड़ा हक होता है। आपका उस्ताद आपके बाप बराबर है। मेरी ये उस्ताद होने के नाते आपसे ये रिक्वेस्ट है कि अपनी बेपनाह दुआओं में मुझे भी ज़रूर याद रखा करें। अल्लाह आप सबका हामी और नासिर हो। खुदा हाफिज़।